guys need a new daily driver? Well, we got you covered. LSNasty.com. We're giving away this 650 horsepower turbo LS Swap Colorado. It's a 5-speed manual. You need it in your driveway. It's 10 times entries. LSNasty.com. Bunch of brand new merchandise. Winter collection is up there. Hats, shirts, stickers, socks, you name it, we got it. Check it out. You cannot win unless you're entered. Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. Hope everyone's having a great day. Got a big week ahead of us. It's Thanksgiving week. A lot of work to get done early in the week so you can spend time with your family.
I got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, rams, hogs, dogs, chicken, turkeys, rabbits, you name it!
I'll be heading up to Pennsylvania where it is frigid, so there will not be any car activities up there. But before I go, I want to film some badass videos. We have a track video. We got a video on some Race Tech seats, which, as you can see, we are loaded up with some Race Tech seats right here. And we got their brackets and their harnesses and everything. Race Tech's doing a giveaway if you guys are interested in possibly winning a 4200, one of their brand new seats. Go to racetech.com, pick up some swag, pick up some merchandise, get you a seat, and you're entered to win one of their brand new units. So shout out to Race Tech, awesome company, awesome product. Now they're even doing a giveaway. It just keeps getting better and better. Also, we're doing a giveaway, lsnasty.com. We're giving away our shop truck. It's a 650 horsepower turbo 5-speed manual Holley EFI, Colorado on Viking suspension, all the fab stuff. So if you guys are interested in getting a new daily maybe, or just having a hot rod, go to lsnasty.com, and every $1 you spend gets you 10 entries to win. So pretty good odds there. As you can tell, we're talking about engines. We're talking about LS engines on this video. I know some of you guys were just in an absolute uproar about me putting a Hemi in the black sheep because you're like, oh, it's LS nasty. You can't leave the LS. Oh my God, how dare you? The Hemi's the biggest pile of shit.
This is not what we want.
You suck. I hate you. That's what was going on.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
The truth is, the LS engines will never go away. They are by far the best bang for your buck engine, and I have these suckers everywhere. This right here is one of our truck motors. This has an NK Performance cam in it. It's a stock 6-liter. It's bored 10 over. They are all bored 10 over. Some stock 317 heads, stock rocker arms, set of BTR beehive valve springs. This thing right there is going to make great power, sound great, and it's going to run for probably 200,000 miles. You can't beat that. The LS is just such an amazing platform. So right there, that's a stock truck motor. Right here, we have a stock 6-liter block. This is a 408 with a steel rod. This is for my daily E85 LSA blown. It's got a set of LSA heads, or sorry, LS3 port heads on them. This thing right here will make a smooth 800 horsepower, and that thing will live for probably 200,000 miles. What, like, dude, it's insane. The LS is going nowhere. So we're talking about the LS, and mainly the findings that I've got from Hank. Hank is one of those cars that you put it together, you know it's a nice combo, but you don't really know what's going to come of it. To our surprise, it has been an absolute hot rod. You will see in probably tomorrow's video, Logan driving Hank, and the thing is just an absolute missile. It is a unit, and there's a couple things I want to talk about with the engine combo, because it is just a straight up off the shelf. It's actually a little bit below what a Black Sheep Stage 1 engine package from TCAM Performance would offer you. That one is something that I had the parts laying around that kind of pretty much equal out a Black Sheep Stage 1, but some of the parts are a little bit less desirable. They're a little bit cheaper, but we put it together, and I told Kevin, hey, I'm just going to call it the Black Sheep Stage 1 because it's kind of almost there. As the joke now is we call it the Black Sheep Stage 0.5. So it's not the Stage 1, it's the 0.5. It's almost there. But it's just got some stuff where I really just wanted to see how far I could push, like the OEM stuff. It's got a set of factory 317 heads on it with factory GM 200,000+ mile valves in it. They're like, hey, can we please change the valves? I'm like, no, I want to see what this thing will do with the stock valves in it. And I mean, dude, it's a 4-second ride. I mean, that's just insane. So that bullet is awesome. I've had zero issues with it. We put the motor in the car. The only thing we've done is change valve springs. When we've exceeded what the 660 valve spring can handle, we've upped to the 685. That's the only maintenance we've done on that motor. We've never put spark plugs in it. We've changed the oil in it. That is it. So when I tell you it is just like something that you're going to put in a street car, I don't want to work on my street car. I don't want to work on my daily. I'm going to put this in there and I'm never going to touch it. I'll change the oil in it. But that is the performance that you're getting. So, I talked to Kevin and the guys over at TK Performance about whipping up something else, and they're obviously on board because all of their motors are badass. We've had great success with all the Black Sheep engines. We have, set the hydraulic roller record with the Black Sheep Stage 3, which we went 412 at like 178 miles an hour, as fast as 182 with it, and a 27 plus 100-pound car. So we're flying with that. Eddie Murphy has the Black Sheep Stage 2, which is a unit in itself. And then we have the Black Sheep Stage 0.5, which is what I've been just torturing, kind of to do the R&D on it. So the combination on that is just a 4-inch stroke crankshaft, just like this, just a pretty much stock Johnny right there. A steel rod like this. This is just a Texas Speed rod, but I think that has a Cali's Comstar rod in it. Way, way, way exceeding the horsepower limits of this rod. But there's some factors that go into that as far as tune-up and how you load it and how the converter is and how much timing you have in it. Steel rod, and then it's got just a plain old Wiseco piston. Just nothing crazy. The motor is like 10-to-1 compression. It's in a stock 6-liter block. It is not top fuel hooped. Okay, just want to make that clear. That motor from TKM is not top fuel hooped. It has what's called a mini hoop in it. So they cut a small receiver groove in the head, and they put a small wire in the head, and then you run a MLS gasket. I don't know if I have any MLS gaskets here, but you run just like a factory GM MLS gasket, and it's standard head studs. It's not the big 1/2-inch studs, and the success we've had with that combo is it's insane. You guys have been watching it. We drive the car on the street. We put hundreds of miles on it. It performs well at the track. It really doesn't have any issues, and I couldn't be any happier with it. So we've gone really fast with the car. We're tapped out on the fuel system. So it works well, because if we give it too much more power, rod's going to break 100%. I mean, these rods right here, they're rated for like 900 horsepower, and I'm pretty sure that's at the crank. That thing, fuel consumption wise, I mean, we're maxed out 2 Magna Fuel 750s, and the calculations on that is like 1500 plus horsepower. So these rods are hanging on for dear life. So we know we're like at the limit of that. The car works really well. The car is, it's a 4-second ride, super streetable, and we're looking to make it go just a little bit faster. Like, instead of going for like a 4-second ride, we're looking to have like a solid mid 4-second ride. And what I consider mid 4 seconds is 445 to 465. In that range is a mid 4-second ride. Obviously, there's some changes on the car that have to be done to make it safe and reliable and not tear itself apart. But the one thing that we need to do is upgrade the fuel system so we can run more boost. And along with that, we need to upgrade the internals of the engine, just because if we turn it up, I'd be showing you guys a video holding half of one of these. And I've done it before, and I know the limits of it, and I like to push it, but I'm getting smart enough in my old age and gray hair to know when it's time to upgrade. So, like I said, talk to the guys at TK Performance. We're going to make a Black Sheep 1.5 engine package. Now, this thing here is something that is just parts I had laying around. I'm going to bring it up to Kevin, and they've actually already done all the machine work on the short block. We're just going to take the heads up there and get them hooped, because the block is hooped, and we've kind of just leveled up. It's one step above. So just so you guys know, I'll tell you what the combination is in the car right now, so you guys understand. It's a stock 6-liter block. It's a 58 tooth reluctor. It's got just a generic like K1 or Texas Speed or whatever 4-inch stroke crankshaft. They're pretty much all the same at that point. So 4-inch stroke crankshaft, a set of just H-beam rods, just like Cali's, Comstars, Texas Speeds, K1s. They're pretty much all the same at that point. So 4-inch stroke crank, H-beam rod, steel H-beam rod, and then just like a standard Weisco or diamond piston, just like this. So again, nothing really crazy. We're running the lamb cam in there. We have a double roller timing chain, Melling 10355 oil pump. We got a set of factory, just straight up like GM LS7 lifters in there. We're running 685 valve springs on a set of completely bone stock 317 heads. And that's like something where you definitely save money. That's kind of why we call it the 0.5 engine package, because it's got just like bone stock heads, bone stock valves. There's like no money in the head. So it's a very, very, very cheap but risky deal, because there's no telling the condition of that valve. It's just a stock valve. Like, it's definitely not meant to make that kind of power. So it's got ARP main studs, ARP head studs. It's got just like a generic, like, I think it's a 7375 push rod in there, nothing crazy, and the combination just runs. It works. So this new one, going to stick with, the good parts of that and just upgrade on some of the things that would be concerning to me. So we'll start off with the block. Same exact block, it's just an iron 6-liter block. This one here has been top fuel hooped. Let me stand it up. Oh, shit my pants. As you can see, this one's got the top fuel hoop. It's got the big receiver groove cut in it. This is still standard studs, not half-inch studs. So again, you're saving a little bit of money right there. Standard studs on that deal, so everything's good with that. We're going to be running a copper head gasket. I mean, I think that's pretty much it as far as the block goes. We're going to do ARP head studs, ARP main studs. So the block, really nothing changes with the block between the two other than the top fuel hoop. That's just one of the added things. Crankshaft-wise, crankshaft stays the same. We did weld the reluctor on this one, so we don't have any issues. This is a little bit more race stuff. The street car stuff, you don't really weld them, but we don't have an issue where the reluctor spins on it. So 4-inch stroke crankshaft, I think this is like a K1 or a Texas Speed. Who knows? They're all the same at this point. The big difference here is the connecting rod. So we're stepping up from just a steel, heavy H-beam rod to an aluminum rod. This right here, the aluminum rods, the MGP rods, they are absolutely badass. And this is something that I do want to kind of talk about, because when you're going out here and you're spending the money, I look at like the percentage increase in cost to the performance. So this rod right here is the same exact rod that we run in the Black Sheep. This one actually was in the Black Sheep for about 4 passes. And then I ended up changing some stuff out, changed the crank, and I just put a new set of rods in it. So, rod, I mean, dude, you can go out there and you can spend $1,000 on a rod, $999 on a set of rods like it's nothing. You can go out here and you can spend $1,200 to $1,400 on a set of aluminum rods. The performance you gain, unmatched. You will not find a better rod than MGP aluminum rod for an LS. I mean, that's just the facts. These are the best of the best. This is it. You're talking about $200 or $300 more than this rod, and more than double the performance. If you were to get a steel rod, like a Cali's Enforcer I-beam steel rod, which is like the closest thing to this, that's still a steel rod, you're spending like $2,200. So it's actually cheaper. This is the best performance for the cheapest price. So if you guys are putting something together, definitely look into the MGP aluminum connecting rods. I like them. I know people are like, man, but you can't street drive on it. Yes, you can. Who said you can't street drive on this? This rod doesn't know if it's on the street or if it's on the track. Like, what the hell? The only difference is you have to let the motor warm up, because this will grow because it's aluminum more than this. So everyone that's like, oh, you can't street drive that, you're an idiot. That's not how it works. It's like too much monkey see, monkey do. Someone's like, you can't do that. And then they tell their buddy, yep, you can't do that. And the next thing you know, you can't drive these on the street. You guys are going to see me put hundreds of miles on these. Aluminum rods, everyone's like, man, you need to change your rods after every 50 passes. For one, it's not a screw-blown Hemi. 2, the Black Sheep on its old set of rods, we made 330 passes on it without changing the rods, and we took the rods out and they all checked out. Like, they all looked good. They weren't oblonged on either end. They didn't have any like weird wear on them. They looked good. So I don't know who made that up, but that's not true. And we were going like 412, like the end of its time frame, running the exact rod that was in there. I mean, they were all bottom 4-second passes, like bottom, like 14s, all of them. So we were leaning on it. So that's where you're going to pick up a lot of performance. There is one thing I do want to warn you about. If you do that, is the block will have to be clearance. So price wise, it might change just a hair, but I don't know if you can see, it's kind of dark. I don't have my Streamlight wedge. It's on the charger today. How dare I? See how it's clearanced right there? The aluminum rod's quite large, so you have to clearance the block. See it right there? They kind of cut those little grooves out to make sure the connecting rod doesn't hit block. So you got that. Piston, it's pretty much the same piston, just like a 10.5, 11-to-1 Weisco piston. 927, I think, is the wrist pin. It's like the upgraded, but not like the super big Johnny. It really had no issues with the wrist pins. And then we're going to a set of aftermarket heads. These are some Trick Flow 220s. These are going to go to TKM and get top fuel hoops, so they will have the receiver groove, like the big receiver groove in here. The aftermarket cylinder head has a thicker deck surface, which will help you with the clamp. This is a 4-bolt head. I would have really liked to get a 245, but they're out of stock, so here we are with the 220s. We're going to switch the valve springs up to some 685s, run some stock rockers with a trunnion upgrade. So very basic stuff. Really, the main difference is the connecting rod and the cylinder head on this engine package. So if you guys are interested, you can call up TKM. If you really trying to stay budget but kind of party at your own risk, say, hey, call up John Boy and be like, hey man, I want one of those Black Sheep 0.5 engine packages. I hear that they've been 4s, which is true. It is true. And they'll be like, oh, all right. And then you're gonna have to bring them a stock block and a set of stock 317 heads, and you'll leave the stock valves in it, and if you drop a valve, that's on you. If you feel like partying a little bit more, having a little bit more, I'd say, safety with your engine program, you can definitely go and say, hey, John Boy, give me the Black Sheep Stage 1 engine package, and you can bring them a set of 317 heads, and they'll put new valves in it. If you're looking to keep the stock block with, you know, what I consider entry-level crank, maybe upgrade to an aluminum rod, call up there and say, hey, John Boy, I want the Black Sheep 1.5 engine package, and they'll get you a set of aftermarket heads, a really nice chunky aluminum rod, and put that thing together. All my street stuff, my stock block stuff, my not super badass cylinder head, my stock style rocker arm stuff, definitely recommend the Lamb Cam. If you're going to go big dog Black Sheep Stage 2 or Stage 3, that's when you get into the Black Sheep camshaft with a badass rocker arm, a badass lifter. You know, you need to have that adjustable rocker arm on there. That's where the Black Sheep cam really shines. But any of the stuff where you're driving on the street, stock style rocker arm, more of the entry level stuff where you don't want to mess with it any, definitely stick with the Lamb Cam on that. But there it is. That's our new engine package. We're actually running that stuff up to TKM on Monday, tomorrow, and we're going to drop it off and let them get to work on the heads while we start putting the bottom end together. And I got to get some lifters and oil pump and some little things like that, and then we're going to be ready to party. So there you go. I'm just trying to spread some knowledge. I know you guys don't like the videos of me just talking, but if it's something where I know people out there building cars and building combos, bang for your buck, you're not going to find an engine combo that makes the power and as reliable as the Black Sheep 0.5, 1, or 1.5. And, you know, stock block, stock cylinder head, or maybe even just a very cheap aftermarket cylinder head, you're not going to beat that performance. So keep that in mind. Check that out. Like, if you want to be like a big baller and go out there and spend 40 grand on an LS engine, you can get one that looks like this. But then again, you know, the performance, this is not twice the performance. Oh, I guess maybe it is. I mean, this motor here probably make 2,500, and the other ones make, I don't know. I'm probably going to make close to 2,000 horsepower with my Black Sheep 1.5 with the aluminum rods, and we're really going to push the limits of that. But yeah, if you're interested, I'm selling this motor here. I'm actually giving this motor away pretty much. I sell it for $22,000, and that's a badass 2,500 horsepower external wet sump LS engine. So if you guys are interested, hit me up in that. We're getting the speed shop knocked out. I'm done talking. Enjoy your Sunday. Go have fun. We'll see you guys in tomorrow's upload.